Hello, Gary here from Pathways Homestead, and I got a couple things I want to talk to you about today. Actually, a thing I want to talk to you about. Recently I picked up a couple of my grandpa's old pocket knives, and I've got both of them here. Two of them he used up many pocket knives in his life and even in my lifetime. And I wanted to kind of talk to you about, show you this one today. He always liked the trapper, the stockman style knives with multiple blades. Let me show you this. I don't know if I can describe to you what this blade should look like. That's the wrong one. But here is this knife and this blade. I don't know if you can see it. It is way narrowed, tapered down. It starts thicker back here and it should stay out like that and then kind of come to a point like out here. But it is paper thin right out to a very toothpick like tip, and that's from sharpening many times. He kept a very sharp knife, and you know, he didn't think there was any use in carrying a knife that wasn't sharp, so he kept it sharp, and this was probably one of many he wore out. Another thing about this knife, another blade is like that too. That one's way used up, and the third one is sharpened but not as thin as the other two. I can tell which blade he preferred and used the most, which was the longer one, because it's been sharpened the most. And this knife has also been carried in a pocket so long that it has wore the pins down on the scales to the point that it doesn't hold the knife together anymore. It's wore the peening off of it, and so when I open that blade, it pops the scales out because it is wore. There used to be a Maker's brand right here, right there, that used to have like a name brand or something on it, and it is gone. I don't know if this is a case. It's not a Schrade. I think it's a case knife, but it's wore the engraving right there completely off, wore the heads of the pins off on the ends of the scales, and this knife was carried in a pocket a lot. Couple of things. My grandpa did a lot of scrapping. He scrapped a lot of copper and stuff like that, and he had a little bit of a scrapping business for a long time. And he also had a small farm and a garden, and worked in a refinery. And so these knives got used. And he hunted and he fished, and these knives got used a lot. One of the things this makes me realize is this knife was made to be used as a knife. It was made to cut and to whittle and to carve and to skin, and that's what it got used for. And it got used well for that. And it got carried in a pocket where it was dependable, where it was at hand, where it was ready to be used when needed. And the wear on this knife shows that it served its purpose. And today I wanted to talk to you for a minute about how this knife compares to our life. You and I, we were created for a purpose, just like this pocket knife. We were created to be used and to fulfill our purpose. And at some extent, in some purpose, we were all created for certain things. This knife was created to be a knife. It was created to cut. And that's what it was used for. Now, this individual knife got used for things that maybe other knives didn't get used for. Not every knife skinned a possum, but this one did. Not every knife scraped insulation off of copper, but this one did. And it was used for that, and it was depended on for that. Not every knife peeled a turnip so it could be eaten in the garden, but this one did. And You and I are the same way. We were all created to be in a relationship with God. We were created to be productive, and in that, in the way that we walk in that relationship. Now, some of you, your purpose may be, part of your purpose may be, the way you're used in that purpose may have to do with your homestead or your garden, just like this knife. And some of you, it may have to do with the business you run and the purpose, the way you're used in that purpose. But I'm going to tell you, one of the ways you can be ready, like this knife was, always in a pocket, one of the ways you can always be ready is to be reading this. And this Bible has been well used too. But spend time in this, and it'll show you how to be what you were created to be. And then how to be used specifically, uniquely in that purpose. And I just wanted to share that with y'all today. And kind of a homestead thing is a pocket knife. Every homesteader needs a good sharp knife. And Grandpa was no different. And Grandpa used them up. And I wanted to share kind of how that spoke to me spiritually today. And I hope you enjoyed that. Remember, you were created for a purpose. And God loves you, and He wants to use you in that purpose. And we will see you guys later.